my gavel. Would everybody like to stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everybody. So glad you got to join us this evening. First off on our agenda is our celebration of Student of the Month.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Steve Merritt, I am the Assistant Superintendent at Beech City Schools. And I went out to baseball game today, and fortunately I wore a long sleeve and a tie, so it's still trying to cool down. With that being said, our first piece of business tonight is going to be our Students of the Month and the principals with their board reports and what's going on in their building. So thank you so much for coming. We appreciate it and want to honor your young people today. So we are going to start off, and let's start with Porter Park. And then what I'll ask is when we're done, if you'll stay around and let get pictures of you, your child, with their principal, family, and a group pictures. So pictures galore at the end, so please stay. Usually takes about half an hour to get through this fun process, and we're going to celebrate the end. So thank you, and Mrs. Provis.
Hey everybody, I'm Erin Provis, the principal at Hornet Park Elementary School, and it's so nice to have you, the whole group here with us this evening, and to be with you. Just a few little updates regarding Hornet Park. Teachers just last week wrapped up their spring S2S meetings. So those are one-on-one conferences where we each sit down and reflect on the year that we've just experienced together, celebrate what really went very well, and then do some goal setting for next year ahead. We've done that both with our classified and our certified staff, and so I'm just so proud of the Hornet Park team of adults. I'm also super proud of the team of little ones that go to Hornet Park as well. They are completing their end-of-year assessments, and they're doing a great job. We have grown some reading machines, is what we call them at Hornet Park. I want to give a big shout out to a lot of parents. We wrapped up today. We had several closing conferences with parents of kiddos who we've been monitoring really closely this year. Some parents who have had as many as 6 meetings with us off and on throughout the school year, and together decided whether we think promotion or retention, a gift of time, is the best for each of those students. Just today we did several of those conferences, and it's just, sometimes tough things we try to avoid. But at Hornet Park, we're so thankful our parents, most everyone will walk alongside us in that journey, and we can decide that together. So we made some really good decisions for kiddos today. And then going along with that, Mrs. Cotter and our central team shared the IRE data, and our intervention team has been able to kind of walk that data back and analyze when kids left the Hornet Park door, what level did they need to be at in order to be most successful on that IRE data. So that's really helping us to kind of guide our decisions as well. I also wanted to share with you about some exciting things coming up at Hornet Park that we would love for you to know that you're invited to attend. We have next week is the Week of the Young Child, so lots of things. It's all child-centered, all fun, all week, and with, of course, lots of learning. But we have a carnival lunch next week. Several of you have signed up to be guest readers, so thank you. I know you'll enjoy your time there. We're going to celebrate all types of smarts, whether that's art smart, music smart, body smart, people smart, all the types. And then we'll wrap up next Friday with Field Day. So fun, right? Then that final week of school on Tuesday and Wednesday, our friends at the Beech Grove Community Center, the Hornet Park Community Center, are allowing us to use the large event space for our first grade graduations. So board, if you're free, I have the flyer with all the times. I'll pass those out in our intermission. But they're like 45-minute celebrations where we get to honor each of the Hornet Park first graders that are graduating and heading to Central soon. Spoiler, it's my favorite event of the year. Then if I kind of shift gears and talk about the Early Childhood Center development, when I was with you last, it was right before our Paths to Quality rating visit. So I'm happy to share with you that we did really, really well in that rating visit. We did attain a level 3, which means we now qualify for more vouchers for families, which is fantastic. So if you've heard of On My Way pre-K vouchers, we can now accept those as well. So we have really good news in regards to enrollment. We now have been able to open what's called our 3rd room. So I think every time I talk to you, we're on the next level. And we're on the verge of knocking on that 4th classroom as well. So you may have seen preschool postings for lead teacher and IAs, but we're going to find some awesome staff to round that out as well. So yeah, that's an update there. In regards to the construction, I know that Mr. Gearhart will share, but it's exciting and it's coming together. So, thinking of things that bring things together, I want to share about our student of the month, Reese Ginling. Come on down. You guys are so cool. Just a little side story. So, of course, Reese is the center of attention right now, but I had the gift of being Randy's teacher, big friend, and Mrs. Principal, big sister, and so it's just an exciting day for the Ginling family. All right, so I have lots of teachers that want to brag about you, Miss Reese. Mrs. Corbin said, I had the privilege of having Reese in kindergarten. She's a sweetheart and always does her best. She's a good friend to her classmates. Mrs. Parsetich said she has the sweetest smile and the best personality to match. She works very hard, and we're so proud of the progress we've made in Kids Club this year. Miss Carney, our music teacher, shared that Reese is a hard worker and always looking to do her very best. She watches her teachers carefully to pick up whatever skills they are teaching. They're always watching. You can count on her to make good choices. Mrs. Baker shares that she loves having Reese in class. You are a sweet and caring little girl that always loved your peers, teachers, and your family. She is smart, kind, and a great friend. For Miss Doran, Reese is always so positive. We love that she loves to participate in class. She always has a smile on her face. And finally, from Mrs. Jennings, Reese is simply a sweetheart. She has grown up so much this school year and is an all-around wonderful person, and we just love having her in class. She's kind to others, helpful, respectful, and works so very hard. Reese is someone many of our other students look up to in our class, and people simply love to be around her. Our student of the month, Reese Ginling.
Thank you, Mrs. Clovis. Ms. Cotter from Central Elementary.
Good evening, everyone. It's so good to be here. As I was preparing for tonight, I was thinking it's my 3rd year as principal, but my 1st year to get to do normal end-of-year activities. Aww. So I am just so stoked to get to do an in-person awards day, in-person music program, all that jazz. It's super duper exciting. Also exciting, we wrapped up our Scholastic Book Fair for the spring. And we did incredible. The shelves were empty. The bookshelves were empty. We had to call Scholastic twice to get more books delivered to us because they were just flying off the shelves. So super exciting to get books in our kiddos' hands. We're also working on wrapping up end-of-year testing with iReady reading and math diagnostic testing to see how much our kids have grown this school year. They've been working hard, and we're excited to see all their progress. This week we've got child lures prevention coming to talk to our students about body safety. We used to do this in November, but we moved it towards the summer months because kids are out and about and playing, and we just think it's really important for them to be safe outside and have all those tools to succeed. On Friday, we have the Ring Masters of Reading. We are doing our annual book nick, which is a fun end-of-year activity where students get to go from classroom to classroom and participate in different literacy activities. And this year's theme is circus theme. So Ringmasters of Reading, there we go. Next week, I'm super excited to welcome our 1st graders from Hornet Park. They will be visiting us and buddying up with some classrooms and getting to see our school. In addition to that, we're also taking our 3rd graders over to South Grove for a little visit as well as they transition to their new building. On Tuesday of next week, our 3rd graders are participating in a spring performance. Now, traditionally, this has been a music performance for the end of the school year, but our related arts team really worked together and they decided to think outside of the box and they have so many tricks up their sleeves. We've got a video, we've got some Readers Theater going on. It's going to be an event, and so we're super excited for our Related Arts team as well as our third graders to perform. Then we will wrap up our field day next Friday, May 20th, and then finally awards ceremony the last day of school. In addition to I Read Boot Camp this summer, Central is excited to host a Buzz Club since the Early Childhood Center is under construction. We're moving Buzz Club over to Central. In speaking with Angel, we've actually talked about some different possibilities for expanding the program for next year. So I'm super excited to continue to explore those opportunities to see how we can involve more kids in that program. This evening, I'd also like to introduce some of our new hires for the 22-23 school year, believe it or not. We have first Miss Sarah Heron. Sarah has been with us at Central this year as a Marion resident, completing her student teaching, and she's going to slide right into a teaching position with her own classroom, so we are really excited to give her that opportunity. In addition, we have Miss Hannah Minton. Now, Hannah is also a Marion resident. She has been teaching this year at Hornet Park, and Mrs. Probus has graciously offered to let us steal Hannah over at Central. We have Miss Cameron Cardenas. And many of you probably recognize Cameron because she's a Beech Grove graduate, and she is just going to round out our team very well.
Is Joey your brother? Oh, we love Joey! Oh my gosh, it's so nice to be. Sorry. Yeah, we work with Joey. He is like he's wonderful. Yeah.
Her sister Taylor's really cute.
Oh my gosh, she's darling.
They were best friends from high school.
See, and that's how it was in the interview process. Mark Parker was like, "Oh, I know Cameron. Yes, yeah." So we are super excited for our new teachers in the fall. And now I would like to transition to Mr. Princeton Ruth, our student of the month. Is he not adorable?
You know, good smile.
So Princeton is a second grader at Central, and traditionally I pick third graders for student of the month, but I thought it was a great opportunity to transition because he's almost a third grader. So all of the teachers had wonderful, wonderful things to say about Princeton. I'm going to start with Mr. V. Mr. V said, Princeton continues to grow and mature each day. I'm so proud of his progress at Central, and I can't wait for him to be the leader of our school next year in third grade. Mrs. Lawson said, I have the opportunity to have Princeton in my second grade math enrichment group. He comes to me with a positive attitude and is eager to learn each day. Princeton is incredibly smart and helpful to his peers. He is always the last to leave my room, as he loves to hang back so he can push in all the chairs, and he helps to make sure my room's tidy. Princeton's smile is contagious, and he makes me smile each time I see him. Mrs. Mercado said, exciting! Princeton is a very intelligent student and fun to teach. He's a quick learner and eager to learn more. He shares thoughtful information and ideas with his classmates. I love having him in class and watching him learn and grow as a person. Mrs. Zeller, Princeton's reading teacher, said, congratulations, Princeton. He has natural leadership skills and is very well liked by his peers. In reading class, he is incredibly bright, which was evidenced by his outstanding I Read 3 scores. Princeton's one of our students that passed I Read 3.
That's a second grader.
Good.
Mr. J had an announcement. He said, breaking news from Central Elementary. Princeton Root is the student of the month. He has a contagious smile, charm, and personality. He has shown everyone how respectful and responsible he can be. Princeton has so much potential, and we look forward to seeing him continue to grow and become an influential leader that his peers can look up to. Princeton has helped us with some video announcements with Hat Day and Flip-Flop Friday, and he has the best breaking news voice. He might TV eighth grade. I don't know. We'll see. Princeton, you're one of a kind. We're so proud of you, and we're glad that you came to Beech Grove, our school, after, when did you start, September? Yeah, and he stood out, and we are just so blessed to have him, and look forward to having you next year too, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Provis. Next is Mrs. And your name, Mrs. Fleming. That's only the second time I forgot your name all my life. No worries.
Well, those are two very difficult acts to follow, for sure, when we look at all the great things happening at Hornet Park and Central, and I know my colleagues at the middle school and high school will also shine. But at South Grove, we too have some really great news to share. We did just complete, for the most part, we still have a few days left for those test takers, but we're completing iLearn. About 98% of our students have finished their test taking and are really relieved to have that under their belts. I especially want to give a shout out to Ellen Collinsworth, who is our tech integration specialist, and her amazing team under Tim Ressler, along with Mrs. Probus, Mrs. Reed, Dr. Bear, Mrs. Bass, Mrs. Reeves, Mrs. Larison. All of these people make that testing go well, along with our incredible staff. It would not happen. We would not be able to do all of the small group testing, the one-on-one testing, and the individual accommodations that students need without all of those people full hands on deck. So thank you all for your help with that. I also want to take this opportunity, given that we're on the heels of Teacher Appreciation Week, to just say thank you from South Grove to all of our fellow teachers in our schools, because we know that students come to us well prepared because of the hard work you do, and we know that we're sending them into great hands when they go on to the middle school and high school. So thanks to all of our teachers and staff in Beech Grove. As you know, May is one of the busiest times of the school year and also one of the most fun. In the days ahead, South Grove Hornets will be experiencing the following. Here we go. Fifth graders will be going to Beech Grove High School for a band and choral concert on Friday. It's designed especially for them so that they can see the fun and excitement of being part of these performing arts programs and hopefully join as sixth graders. Next week, our sixth graders will visit Beech Grove Middle School, and South Grove, as Mrs. Cotter said, will get to host Central's incoming fourth graders. We'll celebrate our artists in the upcoming art show next week, and then we will turn around and celebrate our band and choir at their respective concerts during the final week of school. As if that were not exciting enough, we will also enjoy the Radical Run, our Inquiry Showcase, Field Day, classroom and school-wide awards programs, and lots of engaging learning opportunities in between. And we only have 13 days left, friends. As far as professional development goes, as Mrs. Probus was explaining, we are finishing up S2Ss at South Grove as well. It's a wonderful opportunity to affirm all the wonderful things that our teachers and our staff members have been able to accomplish this year, but also already setting goals and visioning for the year to come. Just as students' learning continues, our learning continues as a staff as well. These next 2 weeks, the South Grove team is going to embark on a visioning exercise that will help us align school goals and action steps to the district mission and vision, as well as to the ABLE grant that we're looking forward to really implementing in full. After students complete the spring diagnostics through iReady, we will spend some time analyzing that data and figure out where growth was made, as well as where there are areas for reinforcement that help us set goals for the fall. Of course, we fully anticipate having much to celebrate with that as well. Well, you know we have an all-star lineup currently, but we're about to add to that lineup with some pretty incredible talent. So I would love to introduce to you a few of our newest hires for the 2022-23 school year. In fourth grade, we'll have Noelle Parks joining us. In fifth grade, we will have Caroline McQueen, Abby Brueggemann, and we'll have a Marion resident with us next year by the name of Megan Briggs. None of them were able to be here with us in person, but are with us in spirit. In sixth grade, we have Bailey Cash, also a Beech Grove alum. And our Marion resident, Lizzie McClure, who has served in her own classroom this year, will be returning as a sixth grade classroom teacher again. I'm really excited to announce that Molly McMillan, who has been a Marion resident with us as well, will be joining our team for exceptional learners. And we have Kristen Weesey returning home. She had left for a year and is coming back, and she'll join our fourth grade team again. So we're super excited about that. We are still seeking the perfect candidate for our newly established Essential Skills classroom, as well as one for our STEAM educator role and a few more incredible instructional aides. So if you know anyone out there, let us know. We're well positioned with 2 mentors per grade level, 1 each in our math and our reading content areas, and of course our 2 amazing instructional coaches as well. I'd be remiss if I didn't take a moment to thank Rita Bass for her incredible work at building and nurturing partnerships with local colleges and universities. Also to Dr. Bear and Mrs. Bass for promoting our schools at recent recruitment fairs. And Mary Story for helping us promote these incredible opportunities that lie ahead through the ABLE grant. And of course, Dr. Hammock for being the kind of leader that others want to follow. Just today, I received an email from someone who knew Dr. Hammock and wanted to be a part of Beech Grove. So thank you. You ready to hear about the incredible Student of the Month at South Grove? I don't know, Shelby, you think they're ready for you? I think they are. Come on up. I want to introduce to you Shelby Trimble. Shelby, this is Shelby Trimble. She is a 4th grader, and we typically show off our 5th and 6th graders, but Shelby certainly gives us lots of reasons to be proud. Shelby comes to school every day with a big smile and is always, always, always ready to learn. As with so many young people, school has not always come easy for Shelby, but you know what? She shows grit and determination every single day and really is a good model even for the adults in our building as to what perseverance really looks like. Through hard work and asking really good questions, Shelby has gained great confidence that allows her to grow in academic areas. Not only has Shelby flourished in her academics, but she's also been a very positive influence in the classroom. Shelby continually looks for ways to help in the classroom by cleaning the floor, wiping down desks, sharpening pencils, and even passing out papers. At recess, Shelby is the kind of child everyone wants as a friend. She never lets a classmate sit or play by themselves. In everything she does, Shelby Trimble makes sure to include anyone around her. She is always thinking of others and what she can do to make them smile. One teacher even added, even when Shelby was at the zoo with her own family, she asked to send pictures to me because she knows I love penguins so much. Daily, Shelby illustrates how to truly be the change we wish to see in the world. Thank you, Shelby Trimble, for being a positive change agent and a great role model for us.
Thank you, Mrs. Fleming. Mr. Morgan, Beech Grove Middle School.
It's great seeing everyone tonight. Wanted to start off by celebrating our long-anticipated middle school dance that went very, very well. And a big thank you to Miss King for showing up and helping chaperone that. It was very, very well attended. So over 250 students showed up, so well over 50% of our population had a great time. They were all safe and made it home at 8 o'clock, and everything was good with the world. So thank you again for showing up for that. I will share with the board an email that Mrs. Sutton put together with a video, so I'll share that after this as well. Our next few weeks are loaded as well, so a lot going on at Beech Grove Middle School. As Ms. Fleming mentioned earlier, our 6th graders will be showing up on Wednesday next week, and our mentors will get an opportunity to take those 6th graders around and answer any questions that they may have. Friday, we will participate in a graduation walk with our seniors. So really looking forward to having that opportunity to work with them and and get to celebrate with those seniors and their hard work. Finally, on May 24th, I'd like to invite all of our board members. Tuesday morning, we will have a breakfast to celebrate our AB Honor Roll students. So any student that received all A's and B's for the year, we'll celebrate with them and their families that morning, and then take them to Beech Grove Bowl, have some bowling at, I believe it's considered Indy's best bowling alley now at Beech Grove Bowl. So looking forward to celebrating with them there. And then lastly, as we wrap up our spring sports season, I'd like to recognize several of our outstanding student athletes that received the prestigious award of the MICC Academic All-Conference Team. So this is for any student that receives a 3.75 or has earned a 3.75 or greater for this season. So 7th graders, we have Desiree Bradford, Marley Colson, Ethan Corbett, Emily Day, Jalen Jordan, Kira Mack, Harper Moore, Lila Muffler, and Jacob Ryan. And then for 8th grade, we have Gabriel Boggs, Aaliyah Buendia Aguilar, Kyra Coker, Ella Lee Fowler, Mackenzie Freeman, Eddie Harrison, Nate Kinder, and Christian Lozano. So big kudos to those students for all of their hard work. And now, for our Student of the Month, Mr. Quentin Myers. Can you join me up here? So Quentin has been with us. He's an 8th grader, wonderful leader for us. And I can tell you when I sent this email out, it was immediate that I got a response. Quentin Myers, resounding, with no questions asked. So from Miss Nielsen, Miss Nielsen says that Quentin does his best in everything he does. Quentin excels as a student and is a member of the choir ensemble. He is a committed young man that consistently comes to rehearsal with a great attitude and ready to learn. Each day, Quentin leads his peers by example by being punctual, his attentiveness to instruction, and how considerate he is towards others. Miss Noah stated, "Quentin always brightens my day. He's one of those people who emits positive energy on a regular basis. He is kind, hardworking, polite, and helpful to others. Our world is a better place because he's in it." Quentin was nominated as our school hero earlier this year by Nurse Probst, and she had to say this about Quentin. "I see Quentin every day, and he is so polite. He always asks me how my day is, and when he leaves, he always says, 'Have a good day.' He shows exceptional kindness and concern for others and is totally worthy to be recognized. Quentin is a great kid who listens and does what he needs to do the first time he is asked. Quentin exemplifies the characteristics of a model Hornet, and we are thankful for his leadership." Congratulations, Quentin.
Thank you, Ms. Morgan. Well, I was a little nervous. I forgot your name. And that's because I get to fill up the high school tonight. I'm going to be the principal tonight. That's pretty big shoes to fill with my car. But if you know my wife, she would say, "Don't give this guy a microphone and never stop talking." If you had me as an assistant principal at the middle school, I saw a couple out here that did. We're in class. I think there's a classmate from maybe the way back. I like to talk. But with that being said, I'm honored to be representing the high school tonight. And I've got a few things. One big thing, which everybody's excited about, is our commencement. And if you remember last year, we had commencement outside. And it was the most gorgeous day ever. And we're going to have that same thing this year. And that's going to be on Saturday, June 4th at 10 a.m. And we'll be at the high school football field again. Now, if the weather doesn't look good, we will make a decision by June 2nd at 5 p.m. And we have a couple options. We might do an afternoon outside or late afternoon outside, just depending on the weather windows that we might get. It's like we're working for the Indy 500, trying to find the window for graduation. But in worst case, we will go inside if it's raining and not going to give us that window. But June 5th, on June 2nd at 5 p.m. we will make that decision. So let's keep our fingers crossed, because being outside on a beautiful June morning is pretty incredible. Also, the staff at Beech Grove High School are working hard to celebrate our graduating seniors with events and activities that were fortunately either canceled last year or heavily modified. Events include senior grad walk through the buildings. That's a pretty incredible time when the graduating seniors walk through the buildings and all the little kids come out and celebrate them, and I'm looking forward to that this year. So, also, we're going to have a senior cookout, powder puff football with no injuries, and other events being held throughout throughout the high school. So, just an exciting time to celebrate our seniors who have worked their tails off, and for those of you in here that have been through that, and I'm sure you can think of memories as you look back to your senior year and all the great things that happened with that. I still have memories of my high school senior year. So even, it's a long time ago, but I do remember it. A couple more important dates. We've got the Academic and Athletic Awards on May 18th. The Senior Cookouts May 20th. Final exams begin May 23rd. Afterwards, we always have an opportunity on May 31st and June 1st. We give those seniors who maybe need to gain a couple credits to graduate the opportunity to do that with the senior credit recovery. I know none of those students in here did that because I had it for biology, so that's good. And then the commencement practice will be on June 3rd. Baccalaureate is June 3rd. And then finally, commencement again is June 4th at 10 a.m. at Beech Grove High School football field. So we'd love to have everybody come out and celebrate with our seniors, as it's just a great day. And again, it's going to be great weather like last year. And I've promised Dr. Hammock that. So
It's going to happen.
it's going to be. All right, now the moment that we've all been waiting for, and that is the High School Student of the Month. And this young lady, why don't you come on up? Akela Davis is our Beech Grove High School Student of the Month. Now, I'm going to read this. I may have to add a few things, but because I never just read from the script, unfortunately. It's kind of a downfall I have. But they said she is one of the sweetest students. She is always willing to help and always has a smile on her face. Akela also contributes very positively to the culture at Beech Grove High School. She takes a very rigorous course load and balances being heavily involved in extracurriculars. She's also, as I talked to her earlier, she's very involved in the performances like plays and dramas and things of that nature. So if you've been able to catch one of the performances, you've probably seen her involved in that. So I also, it says here, I just can't say enough about this young lady. She makes Beech Grove High School a better place to be for everyone. Now, Kayla, do you know who nominated you? Miss Mara, the assistant principal. Anytime you get nominated by an assistant principal, that means you've probably done something great. So you stayed in her good graces, right? So congratulations, congratulations.
If I could have, I was going to say, I'm going to interrupt you, right?
I haven't given up the mic yet.
You're standing away from the mic, so.
Before I say this, she won't admit this, but this is the last Student of the Month picture she's going to be taking.
Yeah.
Because she's retiring this year. And she's been around a long time. Her kids her and her family have all been part of Beech Grove. So we're excited for her that this is an opportunity for her to go explore brighter and sunnier pastures, right? And those types of stuff. But
Absolutely.
Melody is going to take it away with our pictures. So thank you, everybody. I think you can see why we love the Student of the Month activities. And again, congratulations to you and your families for the great things that you're doing with your family. These kids aren't up here by accident. It usually takes their parents and the village to help. So thank you. And it's good seeing your teachers.
I need all the students of the month to come out for a group photo first. And then what I'll do is take them with their principal, and then I'll invite Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start the meeting soon.
Oh, Beth's talking to. Hey, sweet Aaron Provost, would you just maybe give Beth a little like?
So we're going to finish the rest of the meeting now. I don't think we have anybody that's going to be making any public comment, right? Nobody on the agenda? So let's start with curriculum update with Dr. Bear.
All right, well, thank you. I will say it's just so fun seeing some of our former students and things like that coming back and staying with us. And there maybe five of them here tonight, so that's exciting. First of all, we're finishing up iLearn, and kudos to our tech team. Dr. Hammett can attest to this, that when her and I first started iLearn testing, iStep, it was all books.
Yep.
So a lot of the work was on our end of all of this collection and cataloging, yeah. Where now it all falls on our tech people and getting prepared. So, we're blessed to have great tech people here with Quentin, Ellen, and Amanda. So thank you to them and all the time that our principals are taking to this test, because it is still, even though it's less than supposedly it used to be, it still is quite time consuming. And does take a good solid week to get, 2 weeks to get it done. We spend usually about 75 minutes to 2 hours a day with that. So thank you, everybody. Last week we celebrated our teachers, because we do have the best teachers, and I know a food truck, Performance Services provided a food truck at each building, so it's very nice of them. And it was the box burger, and so that was very kind of them to do that. We can't thank our teachers enough for providing them enough food and drinks, etc. They just do a great job, and don't get enough kudos, but they definitely deserve it. So thank you, teachers. Recruiting fairs. Miss Bass and myself, we've been over to like 3 recruiting fairs, been to IU, Hamilton County, Butler, and we just I've interviewed, there's 2 people interviewed that I interviewed at IU, and then a couple of them from the Hancock County one that we went to, or Hendricks County, too many H's around here. But Hendricks County was proven to be very successful. So it's great that those pieces are working out. We're still trying to broaden our horizons and trying to get, exposure to as many teaching candidates as we can. And the ABLE grant has been helping with that, and it allows us to go out and spend the money to go to all these recruitment fairs and things of that nature. So just another benefit of that TSL grant. Next, S2S meetings. I think Dr. Hammock and I have finished up with our team the S2S meetings with all of our principals, and it's just a pleasure to see all the hard work and where we were and talking about in September to where we are today, and seeing all that progress we've made, and it makes it exciting what the next 3 to 5 years will bring, as we're starting a lot of new things and a lot of new initiatives with the TSL grant. So a lot of great things going on in that nature, in that format, and the S2S meetings are just kind of a very positive. And I'm doing an S2S meeting with Mrs. Reeves and Mrs. Bass, and that's just part of our gig, is meeting with our team and evaluating them, giving feedback, etc. Kind of the last thing there is just some of the end of the year activities. And just again, please come out if you have free time. I know work gets in the way, but if you have any opportunities for, kindergarten graduations, to celebrations at the middle schools, South Grove, field days, etc., stop by and you'll see the smiles like you've never seen before as we celebrate these young people going out into summer. We're going to send them home. We're going to try not to hassle them too much this summer after the year that we've all had, and celebrate the end of the year. And I think
We as a district have been very cautious about a lot of things this summer with our teachers. We want them to take a summer off and kind of get their mental health back, and we'll be ready to be fired up next year, and kids need that same break. After coming off of, somebody said it very well the other day, I was listening to them, they said a lot of these kids were in a closet for like a year and a half, just sitting in their room doing online learning. So all of the interesting things that our teachers have faced, our principals have faced this year, it's been a challenge. And our kids have done a good job, but you can tell that they're ready for a break, and we feel like that we need to give that to them. So it's going to be a little lighter load this summer, a little bit of the IRE 3 boot camp, but after that we're just going to have them go be kids for the rest of the summer. So it's kind of an exciting time as things happen around the district, but please, if you hear something, we'd love to see you there, and it's great when you come out and see the great things going on in our buildings. So thank you. And I was a little extra nervous today, having to be the principal.
It was so funny because you said
Did
something
great.
about talking a lot, and I remember both my kids saying, boy, Dr. Bear, he talked all the time in class. Because they both had
The
him.
kids would always try to get me off track.
And you had several
That's
kids
really
back
good.
there head nodding along.
Yeah.
They absolutely remembered that too.
I try to stay on task, but I just love to talk.
Well, that's an important thing in a teacher.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she said I was her, Haley Matkins
Yeah.
was the tall blonde over here. She was one of my students back in the late 90s, early 200s.
Oh, wow.
And so that was neat seeing her. So she was a student, and we had kids from middle school, and Mr. Gearhart and I, and some of our kids. So that's pretty exciting to see that. She said I was her favorite favorite science teacher. And I said, well, you only must have took one class, right? But I'll take it. So
Great.
mainly probably talked the whole time. All right.
Okay, Mrs.
I'm done, Julie.
It's crazy.
I know you're sitting on the edge of your seat waiting for this. I just put on here again, that May 27th is my last day. I practiced this so I wouldn't cry, so I'm really trying hard not to.
No crying.
I have really, really enjoyed the past 10 years as a staff member and 8 years as a school board member. It's just been a real honor to serve the district. I wish the best to Mitzi, and I know that it's going to be great. I think she will love the district, and I have loved it all these years, so it's easy to do. I'm glad she's able to concentrate on that solely and not run a nonprofit on the side. So I think that'll be really well. My report, State Representative Mitch Gore, if you saw the Hornet Blast, he presented the boys championship basketball team with a proclamation and named it as the BGHS Boys Basketball Day in Indiana, so that was nice. We've had various media outlets that have reached out, and Dr. Hammock has done many of those interviews over the past month. Our HPECC marketing continues. The latest component is doing a targeted marketing campaign, especially now that we want to highlight our past quality and that we're level 3 and that we can accept more vouchers. That's a really big thing. The last of the drone photos and videos under my watch occurred the day after we took our tour at the HPECC. I've long planned for a referendum video called Promises Made, Promises Kept, so that we could have our community see what their support has went to. So the last was taken of the HPECC in progress. I'll have all drone photos. They'll transfer to Mitzi, so she'll have them to complete the project. And so that'll be great, I think, for our community to see that. Don't forget the retirees reception. Since I will be there, you better show up at the Beech Grove High School Cafe. For the Education Foundation, we supported Mr. Griffin's special needs class auction on May 2nd and 3rd. We gave them a monetary donation and several other items that we donated to. The District Art Show, everybody's very excited about that. First time in 2 years, so we're really pleased to be able to do that. And then the spring retired educators luncheon takes place this Friday, and it's always exciting to see that group that still supports the district so well. I gave you a postcard, Beech Grove Education Foundation, since I'm not going to be at the administration office. We have a new address, so it'll be a P.O. box that anything that needs to be sent to the foundation, it's in Beech Grove. Please be sure to keep up with us on our Facebook and our website. And it won't be the last that you hear from me, because you'll still see my name when it comes to scholarships and different Education Foundation activities. So I won't be a stranger, but I will be going back and forth between here and Florida. So, especially in the winter. So I'm excited. So thank you guys for everything.
We have a little something.
Oh.
Hold on just a second. Hold on.
I parked it right
What?
I parked it right out.
Yeah. Where's the keys? Where's the keys?
Yeah.
I could use a convertible.
like that.
It surprised me today to realize that we've been friends for 18 years.
Oh, gosh.
And I met Melody when she was a board member, and I became a board member. And one of the things that was great is that when she was president of the board, she made me realize what kind of president I would want to be if I ever got to be one. And there are two things I've learned from her. One thing is she never says anything bad about anyone, and she's always so kind. And the other thing is that the softest voice is sometimes the loudest.
Oh, you're so sweet.
This is a special cake from your bakery that works
Are you
for you.
kidding?
Yeah. So Dr. Bear he shuttled that from Carmel. So
Oh, my
only
God.
the
I wanna
fancy
open
cakes.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, I
let's
wanna
what
see
looks
it.
like. Yeah, absolutely.
Now,
That is
Black and orange, isn't that great? I
awesome.
love it.
we
I
had
love
more
it.
black supposedly on there, but they said black icing's not good because it leaves like a ring around your mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that'd be fun.
We don't want that. They want to say, what's the matter with you?
Yay.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank you, Steve, for doing that.
We can just leave it at your spot and then.
Should we get up for picture? Should we get
Yeah, picture, absolutely. Do you want one with the whole board?
Yeah, let's get the whole board up there.
Yeah.
I have to be gluten and dairy free, and there's a wonderful place on in Carmel where this came from called No Label at the Table.
Yep.
Yes, and I not only love it because it's gluten and dairy free completely, they don't do anything but gluten and dairy free. So it's a dedicated kitchen, but it is staffed by individuals on the spectrum.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow.
And that's another reason I really love supporting it.
Yay.
Okay, Dr. Hammond,
Well.
your turn.
All downhill from there. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk just a little bit about this request that we have first up here under the topic of reimbursement resolution. In my report to you all, I explained a little bit more in depth, but I just wanted in the public format, particularly to let the public know and to let you all know that this action tonight is not asking for you all to take any sort of direction in financing solutions. It's not, this action does not issue any debt of any kind. This is a resolution that simply allows for the district, if we decide to deploy any sort of financing solutions in the future, it allows for us, it's quite innovative, to take current projects that might be incurred from this action forward, would allow for those projects to be financed by a potential solution in the future. In the work session, we're going to talk a little bit more about some things that we've identified as capital needs across the district, and we're going to talk about some potential solutions for some of those capital needs that are HVAC, roofs, parking, nothing that's substantive as far as like a building construction, but things that really need to be addressed. We're going to talk about that during the work session, but this action is just a resolution that allows for example, if the high school HVAC fails again, and that bill would come in over the next month or two, if we ultimately had a financing solution down the way, we could pay for that retroactively with that financing option, okay? So typically, if we didn't have this resolution in place, then you could only use financing solutions from the point of issuance forward. Okay, so it's kind of a very innovative way for us to ensure almost some potential unexpected, sort of emergency, big ticket items that are currently on our minds. It allows for us to then use the solution to kind of back pay and reimburse ourselves from any future financing solution. It is very interestingly aligned to that. I wouldn't have made that connection, but yes, I see what you're saying there. So it allows for us not to have access to dollars right now, but it allows for, if we were to get access to dollars, we could pay stuff that happened before. Yeah, absolutely. So we just ask for your approval of the resolution, which then allows for the if we need, that we would have that ability to do.
I'll make that.
To approve the reimbursement resolution as written.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Very nice. And just included in your packet, we had our personnel report. We are that thing will be kicking up again as we have new staff that are being proposed for employment. Really pleased and grateful for our principals who have been killing it with getting some extraordinary new team members to be a part of the Hornet family, and would just ask for your approval of those employment recommendations as listed.
I move we approve the employment recommendation. I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
And then, this is a very subtle revision to your already approved 2022-2023 school calendar, with many thanks to our General Assembly. There was a new law that was deployed this last session that has restricted the ability for school districts to use virtual learning days in their calendar. And you are only permitted to use 3 virtual learning days during your calendar. Next, in the 2022-23 school calendar, we had actually built in a virtual learning day for the delivery of professional development. That was done before we received the TSL grant. Now we have a solution for the delivery of professional development during the school day. So the need for that one virtual learning day wasn't as urgent as it might have been prior to the TSL grant. So we met with our Certified Teachers Association just to see what their thoughts were about that virtual learning day. Because what happens is if you have inclement weather days and we use virtual learning, pretty soon you could get to your 3 and then you'd have to start making up on the other side. So our CTA unanimously are hoping that we could alter the school calendar so that that's just a regular student day in September now, so not a scheduled virtual learning day, and then we would just save our 3 virtual learning for the potential for inclement weather. So that's the only modification that we're asking for there.
I move we approve the revised calendar.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Now, this forgoes any sort of emergency orders that could raise their heads in the future or anything like that.
Yeah, this is,
No,
so
I was
sorry.
going to say, I listened
to some of the hearings on this bill.
I love that you listen to the hearings.
I do too.
Because you can work and listen. But
Some of us have a really boring day at school, at work.
Yeah, it's a lot of research, and it's
Yeah.
just, it can be on in the background, but there was a lot of discussion around that, and it was that they didn't want any school system, most people that had fussing about it, they didn't want anybody to go back to virtual learning just as a precaution.
But if, God forbid, a tornado hits the high school again and we need to do like 6 days of virtual learning,
So actually, there's a really nice waiver that is in place for, and that's the word that they use, if you have any sort of extraordinary circumstance, be it tornado, be it an HVAC failure, there are a number of indications that a school district can apply for waiver days that are actually, you don't even have to have them be virtual. They're just waived from the calendar. So if you had a building that didn't have heat and it was 10 degrees out, you could ask for a waiver day for that day, and then you don't need to make that day up, nor does it need to be virtual. But we could make that decision ourselves. If we just wanted to have it be a virtual day, we could do that.
It was to prevent the extreme.
Yeah.
There was a lot, most of the hearing committee members were a little concerned that virtual learning days aren't as effective as, that was the biggest.
okay,
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Yeah, no, good question.
Who'd like to second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Great. Steve?
So we ordered last fall a much-needed special needs bus. That bus is on property at McAllister's. They're doing some final prep on it, which includes lettering and numbering. And we should take delivery of that bus any day now. So Misty's excited about that. And it was a big need for us. Also in the world of transportation, bus inspection used to happen in the summertime everywhere. Now it happens throughout the year. Our scheduled bus inspection from the state police was the first week in May. As I think any transportation director will tell you, the more time, the better. So they're running about a month behind. Kevin Kinder is coming in to help us. He works third shift at Lily's. So he's coming in to do some bus repair or some seat repairs and changing oil and some light mechanical things. So he's helping us out. We expect for them to be around the first week in June, and I expect to do well. The high school chiller went down. We had 2 leaks on it. I explained a little bit about that last month. They filled it with helium, and then they detected where that helium was escaping from the pipe. So we're replacing the entire run of pipe from the chiller to the building. It's not going to be quite as expensive for us. We did some plumbing the last time that allowed us to really not miss a beat. We hooked up to our current chiller and turned it on and stretched some hose across the parking lot. So we'll be good to go, absent anything else happening to the chiller for the remainder of the year. Mr. Daniels has worked hard in getting some quotes. He's entering into an agreement with Jack Laurie Group to replace the center circle Hornet and the 2 lanes, and he's going to add a couple of more graphics to the floor. What's underneath there is, as Rob can tell you, is a decal. And when they put that decal down, it was kind of new technology is what I understand. Well, when you run a floor machine on it or whatever, it's starting to peel up. I don't even think they do that technology anymore. So they'll pull that stuff up and they'll paint it, sand it, and paint it, just like Coach English's signature that's currently paint.
So Tom, does that mean that they're going to pull the current up take everything else underneath down and then put a new one on so that it won't peel up?
No, so what's underneath there is a decal. So they'll pull that up, they'll sand it, then they'll paint it,
Okay.
and then they'll coat it.
Oh, okay.
So no
It's not gonna be a
decals going,
decal anymore.
no
Okay,
decals
gotcha.
going back down
Okay,
there.
okay.
So we should last a long time.
Great.
Had a real positive meeting with both Moats Group and Performance Services about a couple of issues we're having on both our baseball and softball field. Absolutely no hesitation from them in correcting those problems. The frustrating thing about it is the lead time on the turf is 12 weeks. So certainly it'll be repaired by next season. Won't be repaired this season because just the delay in getting the turf. And then finally, we had 5 companies that attended our pre-bid meeting for our food service management company. And we got 5 proposals, which I was quite honestly not expecting. I was expecting maybe 3. But it's been a learning process for me, certainly. Julie and Ryan and I evaluated each proposal and determined that Chartwell's was going to be our best option to stay with them, and there's certainly a motion for that. But there's another motion on the agenda before that. We talked about some very brief updated language and discussed that in the work session last time. So there's a motion to approve updated facility usage language, followed by, do you want me to wait on the next one? Vote on that one first?
You do you, whatever you want, we'll figure it out.
You can do that, you can do that one.
Okay.
I motion that we approve the facilities usage language and the food service management contract.
Okay, April.
I'll second both of those as well.
Jill?
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
And if you, do you want to do that?
Would you like Mr. Marshall to speak?
I sure would. And Dulcie, come on up here.
Oh, Mr. Marshall, how are you?
Actually, before we vote on that, is her job secure?
Got to be a part of her, right?
No
Yes.
her, no you. not
Yes.
you.
The answer's yes. The answer's yes. She's up here with me. So, good evening. Thank you all for the invite tonight, and it's just really a pleasure to be here. I wanted to say, first of all, Dr. Bay, I just met you tonight, but I appreciate you paving the way for those that go off script. I appreciate that. Very appreciative just to be here, and really under these circumstances in particular. We wanted to take just a very brief moment on behalf of Paul Kendall, Kelly Deal, myself, and obviously Dulcie Holcomb and the entire Chartwell's team, as well as senior leadership. You know, we've been here quite a long time, and really every day it is a privilege to serve in this district in particular. We're excited about the vision too for how we can further partner with the culinary education program. We're having discussions right now about alternative pathways for our kids, for our students, to be able to graduate and to have new career opportunities. And so we're just so excited about the possibilities and the innovations that might come from those things in the future. But just very briefly, to swing back on script, really I just wanted to say thank you. We're over the moon thrilled to be able to serve in this district, and for all of you, thank you for the opportunity to make an impact in our students, our teachers, our administrators, and this community in the way that we do. I'm just very, very proud of Dulcie and the team that she leads each day. I can't even tell you how many people stop me as I'm floating through the district to talk about her. I've started keeping a tally and a list. But no, Dulcie, very, very thankful for you and your leadership, your innovation. I think it's appropriate to say in front of this group and to really brag on you. But thank you for the partnership and the opportunity to serve.
in the district, and thank you so much.
That's great. Thank you.
I just want you all to know how much I really love being in this district. I feel like I'm home. So I'm glad that you wanted us to stay here, because I don't know where else I would want to be. And I hope that we're here for a long time. So thank you. And one last little thing, if I could, Miss Melody, I'm going to miss you so much.
Oh, I'm going to miss you too.
Thank you for everything. Oh, the snacks. Just very quickly. Walks in there and goes, what is this? Okay, so we had the English as a second language event last night, right? And Miss Rita had approached me and asked me about maybe doing some dishes that could celebrate some of the students. That's great, but if I think enough of you know me enough that how do I pick? So I had to do them all. So we had 4 sections, each one of which had 3 different dishes in it, and what you had tonight as your snacks are some of those. So there are 2, Dr. Hammock, that have mushrooms in it as opposed to meatballs. So if you do grab in there, they're farthest right over. Please save one of those for Dr. Hammock.
Oh, gosh.
But we have, just very quickly, sorry, alcapurrias, which is from Puerto Rico, and it's like a fritter that has picadillo in it, which has different meats. So yours are in there as well, but they do not have the meat center. It's just it's yuca and taro and plantain, and it's fried. And then we have cachapas, which is from Venezuela. It's a corn fritter with some mozzarella cheese in it. Obviously, mozzarella was the alternative to the cheese that I could not find, so I apologize. We have the albóndigas, which is a meatball from Spain, and la pat thok, which is a fermented tea leaf salad from Myanmar. So those are all in there. And then the mushrooms, which is the alternative to the meatballs, was actually, we took some of the soup, the tamka. Like if you ever had tamka gai, it's a soup from Thailand with coconut broth base, and we took some of that broth and just roasted some additional mushrooms in that to create an extra little side.
Where would I
and
find
that's
that, Dulcie?
Any Thai restaurant. Any Thai restaurant. Any Thai restaurant.
Science Square and Mountain Square.
There you go.
See?
We don't have that in
Anywhere you can have
Iowa.
pad thai, you'll probably find that. So, but anyway, so just so you know what's in there, so you don't. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so we need to make a motion to approve the food service management
I thought we did
company.
both of them.
Yeah.
We did them both
We did both of them.
together? I thought we weren't going to, I thought we did them separate.
No, we did both.
Okay, April, Jill, second, okay, Ruby, okay. Okay, so now we have a motion to approve the minutes of the April meeting. Can I
Did
get a
we
motion for
vote?
that?
Did you vote on those motions? Okay, sorry,
Yeah,
I didn't.
Yes, see?
Sorry, I
You were
just was
too.
double checking. Okay, sorry.
April
Great.
and Jill
Okay,
did the first
and
one.
so we voted. There we go.
There we
Thanks,
go.
Beth.
Thank you, Rob. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and then we have minutes and we have claims, so we did both?
We did both.
Okay. I gotta keep up with the times here. Okay. Fundraisers, we only had, there were 2.
And one
Weren't there
added.
2?
Yeah, sorry about that.
I think Steph said one was coming in today.
Yeah.
No, it came through.
It was from the business department here at the high school, and it's a fundraiser to kind of show off
It was their business.
it's kind of the culmination of their course.
Retail,
Yeah.
kind of a retail
Paige
course.
Anderson was who
Yeah.
submitted it.
I was surprised that they didn't do I really looked at it, and I thought, well, this is kind of like a junior achievement
Yeah.
thing, and then I thought, why didn't they do merchandising with it and have that teach them so they could set it up and show their product, but whatever. Anyway.
I see the email, but I have trouble seeing them on my phone.
So could we get,
I don't have the attachment, the email came like saying, here it is.
I think that it
Are
was
you good?
just, it was missed to get to you all in advance, so we apologize for that. She had intended to start it yesterday, but is holding for your approval, as I understand it.
okay. Could we get a motion to approve the fundraisers?
I'll make a motion to approve fundraisers.
Okay, great. And who would like to second, please?
I'll second.
Was that, April, was that you? Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Okay, we don't have any committee and community reports.
Okay, C9. So last week they celebrated Teachers Appreciation Week with lots of good stuff, mostly made by the kids and eaten by the teachers. So I think that's definitely the way to go. Student recognition for both the AM and the PM sessions went well. I do have email links if you would like to view those sessions where they recognize the students. Beech Rose goes to AM, so I can send that out to everybody. C9 is approaching its 50th anniversary festival. So on Thursday, we'll be learning about what some of those, at our meeting Thursday, what some of those things are going to look like. Perkins, which is the federal funding for schools like C9, is going through some changes. And many of the things that they used to be able to pay for at Perkins going forward is not going to be allowed. And the biggest one that's probably going to affect our kids is that special education support will no longer be allowed to be paid for through Perkins. So we've got 3 years to sort of figure it out. I'm pretty sure that everybody in all the school systems will be on board, but that is a big item that we're going to start talking about next week, or on Thursday, and then working the plan forward as we're going through the budgeting process for C9, and we'll also get a construction update on Thursday. And the adult ed, she's going to be hiring a few more people in from an adult ed standpoint. Some assistant educational director, a technology data analyst or assistant, and a full-time career coach to help, since there are a lot more people going through that route with the adult education program through C9. And that's all I have there.
Great report. Okay, well then, I think we need a motion to adjourn. Okay, Bob? I'll second. April? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, meeting adjourned.
We concluded a success story, Carl Palmer.
Oh, right?
You know, the perseverance that he had.
Boston.